All right, folks, listen, I'm back at it again. Listen, I think this one will be, close to everybody. If you like seafood, you got to do one of these, right? Today we're doing a seafood pot pie, and this is going to be fire. Let's get it. Now, listen, if you look right here, we're just going to glance over these ingredients right here. Listen, there's not a whole lot to it. We're just going to be using crab meat and shrimp. You guys can put whatever you would like in there as far as your seafood go. And don't forget, the full ingredient list is on my website, smokinandgrillin.ab.com, and that's WITAB.com. Now listen, real simple. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna preheat our oven, right? So we hit bake. We're doing 375, folks. Then we go ahead and hit start. All right, so now that's going. What we wanna do now is we're just gonna go ahead and multitask. I'm gonna go ahead and dice down all of my veggies. You know what I mean? Get this onion, bell pepper, and my celery down. All right, so on this particular recipe, I'm gonna dice it down a couple different sizes. I wanna do small, for that flavor, because we want to get that celery in there. This is seafood. And we're going to be using Creole kick, so we want to get a little bit of that, that Creole seasoning in the inside, right? So I'm going to have a couple different sizes. See how thick this is? And then look how thin this is. That's okay. And then this one here, I can get it in half. I can get it cut evenly. It'll make a nice thick one also. And the thick will be for the texture, right? So we have it like this. Now we go ahead and dice it down. All right, now we cut down this bell pepper, right? We only gonna need so much of this, so. We only gonna need so much, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it down. Maybe just do the two sides, right? This I'll put in the bag and we'll save this part for later. All right, so once you got everything diced down, like we got onion, celery, bell pepper, you know what I mean? We gotta make a roux, right? So we're gonna start with our butter. Now, I'm gonna get my cast iron skillet up to temp. I'm starting with like a medium, flame, just to get everything nice and, warm. I'm gonna drop this butter in here. This is a 1/4 cup. You guys should know this by now. For those of you guys who've been seasoned, I mean, you gotta like memorize it once you get it though. But you can tell me how many tablespoons go in a 1/4 cup. Okay, so once your butter, becomes melted, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna saute our veggies and get them nice and soft, right? So I'm gonna start with my diced onions. Right, I always start with my onions first. This is just me. I like to give them a head start, So I'm liking this right here. This is nice. Now, after giving them just a 1 minute head start, then I add the rest of my veggies, right? So that'll be my bell pepper and my celery. All right. So we just make sure all of our green veggies that we put in, got a little butter on it. Then I want to make sure it's covering the bottom so we can get maximum, softness, right? So just do them like this. Then we're going to let these go for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to start really making that roux. All right. So now we want to add our garlic in, right? Notice I'm putting it on top. I used to put it in anywhere, but I noticed like if I put it on top, I don't have any issues as far as, when I reload my press, right? So I'm adding my second clove. Put that in like that. And now we just put this right over the top. So look, it's not on a hot, skillet, so we don't have to worry about it burning or anything of that nature, all right? Now I'm ready for it to do its thing. Now I bring it in and let it hit that hot, skillet. And then it'll let you know when it touches it too, because it kick back that aromatic and holler and scream, garlic. It calms down, but this is how we infuse everything. That butter in this right now is incredible, folks. I need to infuse that and then sell it. All right, so once you got them soft, man, I wish you could smell it, you guys. Look, now you want to go ahead and just start to bring in your, this is your flour, right? So I just bring it in just a little bit at a time. Let's start bringing it around and working it in with the whisk. Now, we're not making a gumbo roux, right? What we're doing is we're getting that to infuse with whatever is left of the butter and the moisture, right? Let me add the rest of it. And we're cooking that flour taste out. So it's gonna need to hit the pan be picked up by, some of the veggies, You don't want to see no white. Now I do this for about a minute. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure that I don't have no spots where I can taste, any of the flour. But you see how I'm doing it right there? That's it. It'll get look like almost like it's got mashed potato in it. When you start seeing that, you know you're on the right, right path. All right? And then once we come in with our stock, you know what I mean? So we be using fish stock, a seafood stock. That's what you want, seafood stock. This will loosen this up. Once we got it mixed up, then we'll come with our cream, and then we just cook it just a little bit till we get to where we want it to be. Okay, so this is what we get ready to do. When you get it about right here, it's been about a minute. Now we start adding this to it, right? You smell that? Come on, folks, talk to me. Now, I know we on that medium flame. Now we can just raise it up just a little bit. You know what I mean? We're gonna go with like a medium high. There we go. Because it kind of, you saw it cooled off everything once we added, our seafood stock to it, right? But you see how that is right there? Look how it's starting to thicken up. First it became runny, but as the longer we cook it, the thicker it'll get, right? So we just keep working this in there, get rid of all the lumps. But you see that right there? Now, we're making a pot pie. You want to see it thick like that. Come on. And then we're going to go ahead and bring in, look at that right there. Once you bring that heavy whipping cream in there, this is where it starts to become silky, get real smooth on you. All right? And then we cook it, make sure the color, is the desired color that we want. Right? And if it get a little bit too thick for you, you know what I mean? You can always add yourself a little bit more seafood stock. All right, so now that I have my thickness, I just turned my fire off for right now. I just don't want it to thicken up too much more. You know what I mean? Because this is actually the consistency that I wanted, right? So now I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of Creole Kick. You guys can use whatever you would like as far as your seafood, your seasoning go. You know what I mean? I like to do it either always on occasion or the Creole, side. Now we just work this in here and get this nice and blended. You can notice the color change too, all right? You guys might have saw it, maybe you thinking that I would have darkened up my roux, but I didn't want it to get it too dark, But this way I can see it like this. So when I add that Cajun and that Creole seasoning, like I use that Creole Kick, look at it now. Now you guys got a nice little bite to it, still kid friendly. All right, so we got this right. So this is what you gotta do. I suggest this. This is where we taste it and see where we at, right? So I just get myself a little bit. This is before I put my seafood in. No, I don't heat. That don't, I almost choked up. That doesn't need nothing else. You know what I mean? It's nice, doesn't need no salt. If anything I do is I put a little pepper on there. But the Creole Kick that I'm using, it just gave it everything. Right, so I'll just put some fresh black crack just over the top. I'll mix it in just a minute. Now I got my fire off, folks. This is what we're gonna do. You wanna take the dish that you're gonna make it in, right? Now I got two different things. You can put them in this. If you got smaller ramekins, you can do that. But this one, I'm gonna make it like this so everybody can just dig in, right? So I'm gonna just spray this with some non-stick, right? Now our oven is up to temp. Let's put this up. What I'm gonna do is set that over here to the side. I wanna get my pie crust. Now you guys saw that I was using Pillsbury dough. Pie crust, right? So I'm gonna just take this like this. If you guys got a rolling pin, that'd be great too, because I'm gonna show you something. Depends on how big your dish is that you're making it in. You can look like this, and you can see this is gonna be fine, right? But I'm getting ready to take this and put this in right here in the center, like that. All right, and just work it on the edge. Work the edges in. Just like this. This worked out great. Right, we put the non-stick in there. Now, since we already preheated, I'm gonna put this in the inside right here like this, right? I'm gonna put this in for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer just to go ahead and bake this. I wanna know from you guys down in the comment section below, do y'all bake yours prior to? I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't normally do it that way, but I've made different pot pies and everybody say, oh, I like mine to, be a little crunchy and all that, and flaky, so that's why I'm doing it this way, right? So I'll just take it, put it in inside. Oh, and by the way, my dish is oven safe. Now I'm gonna set a timer for 15 minutes, and then we just get ready. As soon as that comes out, we finna add our seafood here, and then we just finish it up. All right, so listen, I got probably about 5 or 6 minutes left on my timer. This is what we get ready to do. I've already put my fire back underneath here, because we wanna build up a little heat. What we're gonna do is we finna go ahead and add our shrimp and our crab to it and just cook it for about 5 minutes. That's all it needs, right? So anything that came off of your shrimp and or, your crab meat, that's fine. Now I want you guys to notice, look, crab meat, right, but I did all claw. And you know what, it was on sale too, so makes a difference. So notice how I'm just putting this in here, not trying to break it all up, even though when it comes to the claw meat, it's kind of broken up anyway, but we just get that in there. But you can see how we just infusing this with flavor. I'm telling you, if you like seafood, this is your dream. All right, so now we just go ahead and mix this, right? Oh yeah. It seemed like once we added this to it, it really became seafoodish. Even though we're using a seafood stock, it has its own aromatic with it too. But this here, Now look at that filling now. Come on in here, look at it. Tell me you wouldn't want some of this. You guys want to add lobster to it, you can. You do whatever's best for your budget, you know what I mean? But this is right here is good. I promise you it is. So once you got it all incorporated, we're just gonna let it simmer. Like I say, 5 to 6 minutes is all we need, right? We'll know shrimp gonna talk to us and tell us hey, once we see it starting to curl up, we know it's on its way. Then we're gonna stick it in the oven. Once we stick it in the oven, it finishes up. It doesn't overcook this way, and I promise you it'll be right. All right, my timer just went off, right? So let's just go ahead and pull this out. Let this oven build up some more heat. And here you have it, right? And then look, I just noticed you guys can, I don't know if you can see it, but you see how this can turn? That's why we spray it with a non-stick spray. And when you guys saw me put it in there, you might have thought it was gonna stay up that way. It doesn't. I could have filled up aluminum, just got me a piece of aluminum, put it there and put some beans on there to keep it nice and flat. I'm just showing you guys, man, it's certain ways you can do it, that are just, I don't know if you want to go that far. I promise you, do it the way I tell you. It's not too bad on the time, being time consuming, and I'm gonna get the same result as anybody else that tries to make this, so if you look right here, look at this. Now, if you notice it got a little bit more green in there, I had some, what you saw right here was some parsley, I had from another recipe. I tried to use it all. I just went ahead and dumped it in here. Makes it look better and it brings a little flavor to it also. I just put it in here. I turned my fire off. And then look, I want you to notice, this is the consistency that you want to have. If you don't have that, use a little bit more of your sea stock, just to get something like this. Anywhere close to this, you're fine. Now, this part, real simple. We're gonna bring this over here like this. Turn that like that, and now we're gonna just go ahead and fill it. All right, so this is what you come up with, right? So now I'm just gonna push this more so towards the edge, right? Oh yeah. I can feel it don't really want to go down. I finally put the right amount. Last time I did it, they said I put too many shrimp in there. And then the time before that, the reason I did that is because they said I didn't have enough. So I think I got the happy medium right here. Now, we just gonna go ahead and unroll this. That's what I like about that Pillsbury. You get 2 of them in there. You know what I mean? Once you get those 2, once they get close to being room temperature, they be nice, right? So I'm not finna do anything to it. I'm just finna, because we already know that it fits, right? So even if it dropped down like this, that's fine. Love it. I'm gonna kind of like tuck this over here like this. You do whatever you guys like to do. As much as I like to have my visuals right, you know what I mean, my plating skills, I mean, I love to bake too, you guys. You know what I mean? I just hadn't learned the proper way. Like my grandmother baked a lot, but she wasn't, it was about the end result. I ain't gonna lie to you. She'd probably tell me something like, hey, you don't like the way it look, make it yourself next time. You know what I mean? So anyway, see how I'm just tucking this in? Whatever look nice to you, when it draw back in, that's fine. You know what I mean? Cause look, everybody just gonna go ahead and get it. But you see that right there? Yes, sir. Now, let's talk about this part right here. What I wanna do is we wanna brown this. If you guys know, there's two ways we can do it. We can brown it with an egg. We can brush it with the egg wash on the top to help with the browning, or we can use the butter. You ask me, I like the way that the egg wash gives it a nice, richer brown. So just take it, hey, follow me. So meaning if you're new to, and this is your first time ever doing this, we just take an egg. And I know, folks, you guys can talk to me right now. Eggs are expensive, right? So we'll just go ahead and get this going. Now, all we do is take our brush, and we just brush this. All right, now once you got it coated, this is what I like to do. I like to just put, you know what I mean? I'm just taking this right here like that and just make a little pattern. But this right here serves a purpose. It helps it breathe, So we'll take another one, put one over here. Keep it from rising, Y'all didn't know your boy knew how to do this kind of stuff, huh? Look, it's not the fact that I know how. Like, once you get exposed to it, then you feel like you learned something. You know what I mean? But that's all we need. You can do whatever you want to do, you know what I mean, from here on out. Put another little pattern here. I better stop, though, before I end up messing something up. You know what I mean? But there we go. We just leave it just like that. Now I'm getting ready to put this in the oven. We're going to go about 30 to 35 minutes, right? Super easy, simple. It's just the fact that I'm explaining it, and doing a video. This should only take yourself about 30 minutes, real easy. I'm gonna say it's probably like about a 20-minute, filling, and then put it in there. So in an hour, you got something nice. Your family will love it and be asking for it. You'll treat it just like it's a holiday. You only gonna make it every now and then. All right, here we go. All right, fam. This is what we come up with right here. Okay, so you saw it, it's out. I'm gonna take a couple more pictures. I actually wanna open this up so you guys can see. I don't know how good it's gonna look once I take it and put it out. Put it in one of these little smaller ramekins. So let me play with this for a hot second, and then we finna taste it and wrap this video up. All right, so listen, what I did was I pushed down the center part just so you guys could see, right? So let me go ahead and grab myself another one of these. I'll do it like this, right? Oh, look at that. When you talking about being full of crab, look at this. See that? Nice and hot. Some of the crust is on the top. I haven't even hit the bottom yet. And of course, we gotta do some shrimp. I see y'all. All right, so aromatic off of this is incredible, but this is it right here. As soon as this cools down, we about to eat this, folks. All right. Whew. Look at that. You can see it's hot. Cheers, y'all. Y'all try this one, and I promise you, I don't have to ask you to come back. You're gonna come back. So it's just like an explosion. This is an explosion of like truly, if you would had a blindfold on, just what you smell in your kitchen would tell you down somewhere. Might be somewhere like down there in Louisiana or something like that. It really, really got that. I know I use Creole Kick to make it, to give us them flavors too, but this right here is just try it. I really don't know what to say or how to describe it. I promise you, if I was to give this a 10 out of 10, well, there you go. I was gonna say 1 out of 10, I'd give this a 10 out of 10. You guys gotta try it. Super big on building your confidence in the kitchen. The failure rate on this is like less than 5%. So with that being said, let me take this time to say, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there, there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And I'm releasing this on Sunday, so this go out to all my Sunday folks. You know how we do. I'm out. Peace.